Hey everybody, Billy Bob here. Okay, we want to come on and say this. We the People Tyrant Wars want to formally apologize to everyone for Liberty Bird's display of obsessive mental instability. These are some of the actions, again, some of the action he has taken that demonstrates possible serious mental decline. And these are some of the things he has done. He made threats to kill and hurt people. He has manipulated people by videos, by his wording, by omitting. His obsessive fixation on We the People Tyrant Wars for over 2 days, for hours and hours on end. Just watching the videos and talking about us. The question becomes, is he looking for us? So the bullet that he said was meant for us gets to us? We don't know. His attempted suicide. Now, we have to go by what he did in that video. It was an attempted suicide. So in our eyes, we don't know what happened afterwards. Maybe, he was fixed, he went to the hospital, everything worked out, and he didn't get to complete the suicide. So based on the video, that was an attempted suicide. On top of watching his drinking and his drug use, his unsafe construction practices, where you see him, well, we're not going to say what we saw. That's a different report. The weapons that he has unsecure that should be legally locked in containers. By his own admission, he said that most of his weapons are locked, and then he pulls from his table, hanging on the wall, guns that were not locked in the required casing. Now, the excuse he's going to use is that he is in arm's reach and that he has it behind blocked doors. But the reason why it is required to put it in a container locked is because something can happen that can draw the attention of a parent, where the parent immediately needs to leave the room. For example, you hear the child screaming, or the mother is screaming, or something happens outside, an explosion or something happens, and the parent is now startled, gets up, runs outside the door, and forgets to lock the door. Then you have a small child that's very curious that would just walk in, grab a gun, and can kill themselves. So that's why it is required to put it in a container, which he does not have in the container, and he admitted as such. So again, it should be locked. So he has no regards to for his children's safety. He also committed infidelity. He admitted to being drunk, and he admitted to exposing his penis to another person other than his wife. And he claims to say that cheating, or whatever the case may be, only happens when there is penetration. But in infidelity, that can be physical, emotional, or both. So adultery is one thing and infidelity is another. So he has committed infidelity. Now, a lot of you women out there, let's be realistic. If another man is on the internet and he is exposing himself to another person that they speak to, that he can actually meet, do you consider that cheating? To him, it doesn't. So this is just to let you know, if Bird's wife is watching, in his eyes, anything is a go as long as there's no penetration. So phone sex, cyber sex, all that is okay. To him, it's not cheating. There's nothing wrong with that. There must be penetration. That is his wording, that it has to be penetration. So keep that in mind, Jamie. Keep that in mind. So, moving on. He has displayed porn for hours on end without age restricting his video, which his channel was taken down. He has threatened to intimidate and frighten anyone from reporting his instability. For example, when he threatened and said that the people are going to be fucked whoever calls CPS. His wording. He has committed extortion by threatening to go after 5 females in a live unless they provided him with information he demanded, because if not, they will be fucked, and he knows people in high places. His wording. Animal abuse. When his dog needed to be checked on because of his lack of empathy for a dog for pulling out a rotten tooth. So if a tooth is rotten, the mouth is already in pain. So this dog did not get any anesthetic. He just yanked it out of the dog's mouth, and that's it. The dog had to lay there in pain with a bloody mouth, with no anesthetic, no antibiotics, no nothing. He thought that that was the right thing to do, and he says he has so much money readily available that he could not take that dog to an animal hospital. That says a lot. So now moving on. Child endangerment by having all of the weapons out and so forth. He called the hospital. He manipulated videos and wording, and he called in a false report, which some say that's actually actions that terrorists will make, where you call a facility, you put them on high alert just to instill fear, because there was no imminent threat at that point, and he made it as such. Illegally recording calls on other states, two-party states, where the law states that a one-party state that calls a two-party state, they must abide by the two-party state because they're calling the two-party state. That's how it works. Just like if you go to another state, you have to abide by the laws that that state has in place. You cannot just bring your laws into it and go, well, I could carry my gun in Colorado. Well, try that in a state that doesn't have that law, and we'll see what happens there. You see how your logic doesn't make any sense? But still, that happened. And we can go on and on and on and on. So this is for all of you out there. Anyone that's engaging with him, you might be furthering his mental instability and his decline. And by encouraging his behavior, encouraging his actions, if anything illegal were to happen, you are now tied to it because you encouraged it, you pushed him into it, you contributed money to it, you are now complicit, and you can be held to legal actions as well. Look it up. If someone is doing something that is illegal, you're encouraging them, you're giving them money for it, you are complicit. You are a co-conspirator. That's it. You going down with them. And you will be reported as well. Because anytime he does these threats, anytime he does these things like that, we have to attach your name to it. You didn't know that, did you? So be careful on what you encourage, because you easily become a co-conspirator. In conclusion, we're sorry that he's going through it. I mean, you know, we pity people that are, you know, go through that. We are. That's why we report all these things. Because there's something wrong. There's something seriously wrong. You cannot be in a lie for 5-6 hours and just obsessed for days and days and days and days and then do nothing. I mean, that doesn't make, like, what's going on? Like, take action. But the person can't take action. They stuck on watch, rinse, repeat. So be complicit if you want, and if you want, participate in his life, and your name will be attached to anything that he does illegal that you supported him with. So if you supported him with something, you saying, yeah, go ahead. Guess what happened there? You will be a co-conspirator in the reports that we filed. And you know we file reports, right? You know that by now. You want your name on it? Go right ahead. And I'm gonna leave it right here, because this goes with the enabling co-conspiracy, complicity, and so forth and so forth. At the end, because the big theme now is, so what you call in reports, so what you do with this, so what. But at the end, right now, if you put We the People Tyrants, right, he is attacking an entity, a cartoon, a fictitious thing. There is no person attached to We the People Tyrants. So We the People Tyrants, once it goes away, we go away. There's nothing. We can just shut down and that's it. So when you look at We the People Tyrants, you're gonna say, okay, no one in that group has anything on them. Then you look at Liberty Bird and people that are like him. When we walk away, or he walks away, he will have sheriff reports on him, government reports on him, CPS calls on him, animal abuse called on him, construction site called on him, named in his lawsuits, personally and professionally. That's it. That is tagged to him, and that's on his record forever. But to him, see, he is attacking We the People Tyrants. That's not a person. When we walk outside, we could be standing right next to Liberty Bird, but you could know everything that happened to Liberty Bird, but you would never know what the persons behind We the People Tyrants. You will never know. So again, at the end, you'll have to think to yourselves, is having a report on file worth it? Is it worth it? Background checks are made. Your background check may not look too good in certain situations. Putting in for a loan, putting in for any type of state or government jobs, they'll look at it and they'll see there was state and government reports put in on you. I mean, we can go on and on, but We the People Tyrants, is that see the cartoon right here? That's We the People Tyrants. No face to it, no name to it, no address to it, no nothing. Once we turn off the video, we are gone, invisible. When you turn off the computer, you have all these reports on you. Every neighbor looking at you for the disgusting pigs that you all are. So have fun giving us content. Again, this goes for all of you. We are here because of you. You talk, we act. If you don't talk, we cannot act. See? Causality. And that's all it is. We report. Okay? Google cannot exist unless they have things to put up to search. You are what we need for our search engine. It's really simple. So you can manipulate the words, put it back and forth. But yeah, you're not gonna win. Not legally. not legally. And even if you was to even try to attempt to put us on anyone, that person can turn around and go, well, that's not us. Because look at their videos. They've been named over 10, 15 people. So that credibility is out the door. You have just said you burned that bridge. It's done. So yeah, good luck looking for us in Eastchester and believe in Bird. All of you, think about this. All of you that didn't mind your business, all because of Bird. And look at what happened to y'all. Look, and look what happened to us. Nothing. Nothing. Good luck, everyone. So ask yourself, people, is it worth it? Do you want to be a co-conspirator? Do you want to be complicit? Do you want to be added to reports? If the answer is yes, continue what you're doing and supporting him and going on his live and talking bullshit and encouraging him. Remember, you encourage someone to do something that can be considered illegal, you are co-conspirator, you are complicit, you can be held also. And we will make sure your name is added to it. We guarantee it. And what can you do? Put We the People Tyrant War on a report? When we will put Robert, we'll put all these names on it that have an actual person attached to it. So what are you gonna do? Think about that. Because what Bird is doing, all he's doing is giving us more evidence to his mental instability. That's all he's doing. He's disheveled. He's there drinking hours and hours and hours and hours, just obsessed with us. How about spending time with your child, you piece of shit? We are so open in what we do. And, you know, that's that. Take care, everyone.